America's moving infrastructure never stops. Every day, millions of tons of cargo cross our highways, oceans, and rail lines. The Department of Transportation was established to bring all of this oversight under one roof. But transportation itself is not a single cohesive industry. The physical demands and the specific hazards vary wildly. Driving 80,000 pounds of steel down a packed interstate is a completely different operational environment than piloting a commercial aircraft at 30,000 feet. Yet, if you move from hauling freight to working on an airport tarmac, the drug and alcohol testing process you go through follows the exact same rules. Your rights as an employee and the collection procedures remain identical. The federal government divides oversight across 6 distinct agencies: FMCSA for commercial motor vehicles, the FAA for aviation, the FTA for public transit, the FRA for railroads, PHMSA for pipelines, Coast Guard for maritime operations. So how does a single set of procedural regulations effectively police sobriety across 6 completely separate, incredibly complex American industries? The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration covers the largest workforce in the testing program. Coverage here is defined broadly by the vehicle itself, usually anything with a gross weight rating over 26,000 pounds, or any vehicle designed to carry 16 or more passengers. Because a valid random testing program requires a pool of employees, owner-operators who drive under their own authority cannot test themselves. They are legally required to join a third-party consortium to participate in a compliant random testing program. Under the Federal Aviation Administration, safety-sensitive status extends far beyond the cockpit. An aircraft mechanic certifying a repair or a dispatcher issuing flight instructions directly impacts the safety of that aircraft, so they fall under the exact same testing requirements as the pilots. For the Federal Transit Administration, the trigger for coverage is federal funding. That financial link means FTA regulations pull in a massive network of public transit workers, and it extends deep into private contractors who maintain buses or provide armed security on transit property. Whether alone in a highway cab, turning wrenches on a tarmac, or guarding an urban rail platform, the consequence of impairment is an immediate physical threat to the surrounding civilian public. The Federal Railroad Administration pioneered the first federal testing program back in 1986. After decades of accidents where human factors played a documented role, the FRA built the regulatory framework that other agencies would eventually adopt. The FRA also maintains a unique approach to post-accident investigations. They pre-deploy thousands of physical toxicological kits at rail yards across the country, designed to collect comprehensive blood and tissue samples following a severe crash. The Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration handles systemic risks. A single pipeline failure can contaminate regional water supplies and trigger environmental damage that persists for decades. Because of that unique operational profile, PHMSA regulates differently. Specifically, it does not authorize random alcohol testing. Employees working exclusively in pipeline operations are completely omitted from random alcohol testing pools. The U.S. Coast Guard also omits random alcohol testing for mariners. And while the Coast Guard now operates under the Department of Homeland Security, it still borrows its drug testing rules directly from the DOT. Beneath all these disparate environments, the trucks, planes, trains, ships, and pipes, lies a single identical procedural structure, Title 49 CFR Part 40. Part 40 ensures that the laboratory standards, the medical review officer procedures, and the chain of custody rules are completely identical. It doesn't matter which of the 6 agencies covers the employee, the collection process works exactly the same way. This creates an interesting logistical question. What happens when a single transportation conglomerate operates both commercial trucks and regional pipelines? When a worker answers to multiple federal agencies with conflicting rules, the most stringent protective standard always governs. An employee performing both FMCSA and PMHSA functions will be subject to random alcohol testing because the standard offering the highest level of public protection takes priority. This framework rests on 5 universal pillars of testing. Every covered employee is subject to pre-employment testing, random testing, reasonable suspicion testing, post-accident testing, and return-to-duty testing. And if a violation does occur, the path back to a safety-sensitive role is universal. The substance abuse professional evaluation and the return-to-duty process are identical for every single transportation worker, no matter what they drive or pilot. Standardizing these procedures ensures that the same rigorous fail-safes protect the public, regardless of which agency oversees the work.